Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Papaya Pod Race Review with Jimmy and Keith. I'm Jimmy,
I'm Keith.
and this is the Papaya Pod Race Review. Um, we're going to talk about Qatar, obviously.
Yeah.
Another massive disappointment, two disappointing weekends on the trot.
Yep.
But we're going to be speak about something far more important than that first this week. Don't normally do stuff like this, but this is really important to myself and Keith, and probably a lot of people out there, anyone with a heart at least. Anyway, um, it's actually only just been brought to my attention, so apologies for not seeing this sooner. Um, Keith, I'll let you take it away, mate. Seeing as it was you that brought it to my attention, I've literally only just seen it, so I'm still trying to process it
Yeah.
all.
I know you are, Jimmy. Bless you. You've only just seen it. So what I'd like to do, this is a big shout out for our lovely little liar, who many of you would have seen. I think I've pronounced that right. And if I haven't, I'm sure I'll get told. But many of you saw her at MTC with Lando. She is a very special young lady. And her inspiration is Lando. Her tag phrase is foot dune. Now, I don't have a very good Northeast accent, so with this Kent one, but I'm going to go with foot dune. She is fantastic, and she decided to make those bracelets that we all love to raise money for other people, like herself, that needs that help with the charity work. And you know what? She has done amazing. She has raised over £2,500 by making bracelets, of which I do own one. I don't wear mine because I'm so proud of mine that it hangs up there on the McLaren wall. But Jimmy, we got because of this biasness and because of the hatred towards Lando and Oscar at the moment, this little girl, this amazing little lady, and her mum and dad that have done so much for others and are trying to inspire others to get up, get walking, get moving. She came on the firing line for some of the hatred and some of the nastiness that's going around. And bless her, her mum's withdrawn some of the posts to stop the comments, but Jimmy, nobody but nobody deserves that, especially if you're one of our mini McLaren fans, and you are so passionately fond of a driver. And Lando was just as receptive on the other side. He was fantastic with her and her little brother. Why? Jimmy, I don't understand. Why would we want to direct our frustration and our hatred out on a little mini McLaren fan? It's just not right.
I wish I had the answer, mate. I don't. It's disgusting. It's vile.
Mm.
It's a lot of words that we won't say on this podcast because we try and keep it clean. But there are many
Mm.
ways I could describe it. We've all spoken about the hate that people get on social media for a
Mhm.
team you follow, or particularly a
Yeah,
driver, especially this
definitely.
season. Whether you're Lando or Oscar, it's been massively increased. It feels this year because
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
the rivalry between the two drivers. McLaren fans generally like both, like myself and yourself, Keith. Yes, you might have a slight favourite, but you're going to support both on the
I
whole.
support the team. We support the
Exactly
team.
that.
We support our drivers.
But I understand that some people are driver fans, and that's fine as long as you're not hating on others for being fans of other drivers.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's been an ongoing thing all season long. Well, it happens all the time in all walks of life, right? And social media, unfortunately, gives the idiots a voice as well. And sometimes the
Definitely.
idiots shout louder than the nicer people. And it's never right. It's never acceptable. I've said it. We've said it so many times in the past. Stop hating on people. It's pathetic. Just enjoy the sport. Respect one another for whatever, regardless of your opinions, your
Yeah,
fandom, whatever.
definitely.
Just respect each other, right? We've all got different opinions. But actually, and I haven't seen the comments and stuff that were put on Elias' thread. Literally, like I say, Keith's only just brought it to my attention. But to go and attack a young child who that stops there. That's all I need to say. To attack a young child is just scum, so scummy, and it's disgusting. And you should be ashamed of yourself. To
Yeah,
attack a child that is doing some amazing stuff for charity, raising
yeah,
money for charity.
yeah.
What the hell are you thinking? Go and get your head checked out because you need shaking. Seriously, it's I'm really angry about it, Keith. I know you are as well. I've only just found out about this, so I'm still boiling. It's disgusting. So if you're one of those, go and have a word with yourself. And do you know what? Delete your comment and go and donate some money to this little girl because you're bang out of order.
That's it right there, Jimmy. So let's do the flip side of this. Lindsay, her mum, is a fantastic advocate for what she's doing. She's really supporting this little one. Ladies and gents, go on Instagram, go on Threads, go and find her. It's Lindsay's story. Go and find a liar. Get a bracelet ordered. Come on, let's push her donation up even further so that she can help more disabled children. And as a wheelchair user myself, Jimmy, and a disabled person, that little one inspired me when I was having a bad day. And yeah, like all adults, I can have a bad day and feel sorry for myself. Then I watch this little one building her bracelets, trying to move herself around, and you think, come on, get off your butt, Keith. Stop being a wuss. Let's do this. If she can do it, we can do it. So come on, ladies and gents, let's push this bracelet sale through the roof. And Mum's probably going to kill me now, going, Keith, we can't make them that quick. But you know what? Put it on an order. Wait till it arrives. Let's push her. Let's push her fundraising through the roof. Let's get McLaren on this,
Absolutely.
guys. Let's give her a big shout because
Do you
she's
know
an
what? I
amazing little
haven't got one of
lady.
these bracelets, guilty as charged, but I am definitely going to get my name down for one. There she is. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera there.
Oh, she's a cracker.
Beautiful little girl, little angel, and just doing amazing things. And yeah, I'm actually really angry, mate. So
Yeah,
it kind of puts everything into perspective.
yeah,
What we're about to talk about kind of feels a bit irrelevant.
yeah, yeah,
But we will talk about it because that's why we're here. But we don't normally dwell on the negative idiots, but this kind of had to be mentioned because it's just not right and people need to be made aware. And I hope plenty of people see this, even if they stop watching the rest. I don't care. I hope everyone sees this so they can go and support this little girl because it's then at least some good can come of this because it's
yeah,
absolutely disgusting.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, so shall we move on? Shall we
Let's
move to
move on.
turn 10? Shall we talk about turn 10 before we talk about anything else? Because even during practice, qualifying, sprint race, main race, turn 10, that caught a few people out there, Jimmy, I'm telling you.
It did, mate. And do you know what? I was kind of hoping this podcast would calm me down after the rant I just went on, but I don't think this is the episode for that. So we'll continue to rant. Yeah, 10-10 did cause a lot of problems. Track limits,
Yeah,
from the Friday right the way through to the weekend, everyone was having issues with it, and I can understand why. When you actually watch it, you can see that that is the line to take, where you've got that open
yeah,
road,
yeah.
so you can, but you overcut it, your track limits.
And it caught out the most experienced drivers as well as our puppies that are coming up through the ranks,
Absolutely.
the junior guys. But yeah, I mean, track limits, left, right, and center, lap deleted, lap deleted. It was like, whoa, it's like a lottery out there. I just felt like saying to Lando and Oscar, don't go round turn 10, miss it.
Just miss it out completely. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
yeah, it
wow.
was it was a weird weekend, mate, this one. I mean,
Yeah,
Qatar's never been the most exciting race of the season, and
no, it's
I
not one
mean,
of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie.
let's be honest, this one was dull, wasn't it?
It was
Let's
dull, I'm
let's
afraid. Yeah,
you know, and the
yeah.
fact that with the safety car coming on lap 7,
Oh,
every car
except for us.
except for two Papaya cars pitted, and that already dictated the rest of the race, right? Because
Yeah,
Pirelli had put this 25 lap limit on the tires. So
yeah,
by coming in on lap 7 on a 57 lap race, you knew they everyone had to come in on lap 32. That was the
yeah,
only option. So
yeah.
there was no question. I
No.
mean, I must admit, the two pit stops that everyone else made, bar us not being involved, they were amazing to watch. How there was no accidents was
It
incredible.
was pretty crazy down pit lane there for a while.
Yeah, I must admit, as much as I would love to have seen a papaya car or two in there, it was really. I actually rewound it
Yeah.
after the race and watched it back because I thought it was some phenomenal driving by those guys. As we always say, look, we can't underestimate what these guys do, but that was
No.
chaotic down there.
I'm just looking down because I've got my notes down there. Yeah, because we had a 1.8 pit stop again. We got another 1.8 in, didn't we?
But
And a
but
2.7.
the 1.8 was changed
Yes,
to a
that's right.
2.08.
Yes. Why though? Because not many people picked up on that.
Yeah, I apparently so I looked. It was DHL that put the post afterwards.
Yeah.
For their fastest. They do the obviously the fastest pit stops, the fastest laps,
Yeah.
etc. And they put 2.08, and I was like, no, that's wrong. So I checked the
Yeah.
comments before I commented and made myself look like a wally.
Yep.
And apparently, this happens quite regularly. The actual time you get on the TV isn't as accurate as we think it is, which I never actually knew that. So I
Yeah,
learned
because
something.
we miss that timing line on the TV. It can miss the official timing line as they break the beam as they're coming through, you see. And
Right.
because they then start the stop clock, very often what we think is the best laptop maybe not actually be the best stop. Pit stop, it might not be at all. So yeah, it was interesting because I was like 1.8, and then I read it, I was like, oh,
Yeah, I was like, funnily enough, my other half was sat there and I went, wow, that was a quick stop. She's there, like, just on her phone, I don't care. And I'm like, oh my God, that was a great stop. Oh, 1.8, wow. And she just looked at me like, you've just got excited about a pit stop. What is wrong with you? I'm like, this is amazing. Um, and
yeah.
it wasn't amazing. It was terrible.
So what did we do wrong? Why didn't Oscar go in? Why didn't they split the strategy? I know we're letting the racers drive. We know they're allowed to race their own races, but why? We had a second chance if necessary, because the safety car was still out. But why? What was the thought process? I'm not an armchair critic. It's very easy for me to sit back and complain and make statements. But the bottom line is, I'm an armchair critic. I am not a strategist. But even our Bernie was a bit like, ooh, ooh.
The one thing I will say in their defense is Zach Brown immediately came out after the race and
Yes,
held
he
his
did.
hands up and said, we've apologized to the drivers. We got this wrong.
Yes, they
You
did.
can't
And I
do no
thought that
more
was
than that. In the
that
heat
was
of the
quite a public
moment,
statement. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, and it was instant.
yeah,
Um, like you said, we can all sit there and go, what are you doing? And we get the
yeah.
time to think about it, right? We're sitting there 10 laps afterwards going, well, hang on a minute. All the other cars coming apart from us. So what? They've got split seconds to make these calls.
Yeah.
Yes, when you look at it and the entire field coming apart from us, we look like idiots.
We did look like Muppets.
And I, what I will say at the time, when I can't remember if it was Tom Stallard or Will Joseph come on either Oscar or Lando's radio and said, when I think it was Lando, I think it was Will Joseph on Lando's, when Lando said, are we not going to pit then? I think it was Will Joseph that said, the other guys now have no flexibility. They have to pit on
That's
lap
right. Yes.
32.
Yeah.
This gives us a bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, do you know what? That kind of makes sense. And of course, if you've got another safety car, it
Would make complete sense.
may have
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah.
Of course, that didn't happen, so it didn't work out. Now,
No.
where I'm baffled is a lot of the experts, and granted, they know a lot more than me, so people
Mm.
will probably put me right in this. They were saying it made sense to pit Lando,
Yeah.
but leave Oscar out.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the other side. I actually think Oscar was leading the race. It made sense to pit Oscar and
Yeah.
back your mechanics to get him back out before Max
Yeah.
and leave Lando. If you're going to leave one of them out, I would have left Lando out. One,
Yeah.
he was in fourth position at the time. Third position, I think it was at the time. Um, so you've got to give Oscar the right of way. Okay, of course you can double stack, but then you're
Yeah.
really talking about pressure. But also, if you put Lando on a different strategy, that might give him a chance to come back to second potentially. Worst
Yeah.
case, I mean, he's probably going to finish third or fourth.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
finish fourth anyway. But I would have definitely got Oscar in because back your mechanics, get him back out leading the race, and then he controls that race.
Yeah.
And as long as your mechanics can get it right on the two pit stops, Oscar wins the race.
But also that gives Lando in front that opportunity to bring Oscar back into play if there was too much of a gap. He could have backed the pack up a little bit if
Yeah.
necessary. They could have really used both cars to their full potential. But again, that's easy for me to say, sitting in my armchair, drinking a cup of tea, going, what did you do that for?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, they got it wrong. It's the second weekend in a row they've got it wrong.
But
Um,
we did break another record though, because we did have our 70th front row lockout.
yes, we did.
So
We
it was
did
our
indeed.
70th front row lockout, which is that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's quite a nice pinnacle to get to.
it really is. Well, you've started. Let's go back to the start then.
Let's do it. Come on.
We're gonna this. I think this week we're gonna skip over the sprint qualifying and the sprint race because it was just boring and yeah, just dull. And why there's a sprint in Qatar it is baffling to me.
Why? I don't know.
It was just dull to
Yeah.
be quite honest. I am quickly going to talk about the sprint while we're here. Sorry, guys, I'm really all over the place tonight. My rant earlier on has thrown me. Let's quickly talk about the sprint, just super quick. The start.
Yep. Yep.
Oscar finished first, Lando finished third, Max finished fourth. Um, Oscar got off great and he controlled the entire sprint race. He was
Yep.
off at the front. That was him, gone.
Yep.
Lando had a really good start, but
Yep.
George Russell, who was in second, kept
Hmm.
him behind.
Yep.
Uh, Now, what was interesting was Yuki actually put Lando under some pressure. I think Yuki was fourth for
He
qualifying.
he definitely, and I
Fifth,
do
fifth.
believe that Lando and George almost kissed tires as well at one point.
Well, I thought they did on the live stream. It
Mm.
looked like there was a bit of a jolt, yes. But Yuki actually put Lando under a bit of pressure after that. But then, of course, Max come through, so Yuki just yield.
Yielded, big
Um,
time yielded.
yeah, and people moan about papaya rules, right?
Hmm.
Um, just gonna get that little dig out there. And yeah, and that was that really. It ended Oscar first, Lando third, Max fourth because Yuki yield, and I understand why, obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that start because I thought Yuki actually could have seriously done something there if he wasn't
Mm.
given up to Max. Yeah, sorry. Let's talk about the race. Let's talk about the race.
Yeah. So off we go. Oscar steams straight out. Lap one, 57, Bosch gives himself a bit of space, gives himself a bit of breathing room. Lando and Max come, no, I wouldn't say close, but there's a little bit of race in there. Lando concedes, Max takes second, Lando drops back in. Um, and then lap two, the DRS is enabled, and you start seeing some movement, thinking, oh, perhaps. And then within seconds, lap 10, we're getting sorry, no, turn 10, loads of infringements kicking off big time. And then Hulky crashes on lap seven. Yeah. Hmm.
And that was when the pit stops took place.
And then the safety car comes out and they all dived in, but guess what? We didn't.
Three cars didn't pit
Yeah,
during that safety car. Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and Nico Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg crashed out.
that's right. That's
Otherwise,
why he didn't come in because he was
otherwise
dead.
he would have been in there as well.
But
Wow.
yeah,
I still can't quite get my. Do you know what I think? I've come to a conclusion that the FIA have paid McLaren some serious money to say, look, guys, come on. Abu Dhabi pay us a lot of money.
I'd
Let's
like
try
to
and
think
get
that.
this one
We're
down
go-
to the wire.
So
I
what did I
don't
say?
actually believe that, by the way. Before anyone hammers me, I don't actually believe that.
So my notes said at that point, has McLaren made a good choice? Exclamation mark in my notes. Have they given themselves more opportunities later in the race? And then I think I put a little footnote to it. Well, only time will tell, Keith.
And time did tell, and unfortunately, no is the answer.
Then I thought
Yeah.
we were going to go there. I thought then two stopper, right? Like everybody, we've got to do it. We'll go to hard, go to the, and then I thought, right, they've all made their, we'll go to the soft on the last stint because we're going to only have so many laps left. We'll be able to rip it up with the soft. But, well, no.
Just
We did
yeah.
exactly the same as everybody else. We went medium, medium, hard. Same as everybody else.
But except for getting a pit stop under the safety car, we had to get one during
Yeah.
race, which was like an extra what, 10 seconds or something
Yeah.
like that, I think.
Yeah.
It works out. Um, I mean, listen, it's done. Again, we're going to talk about hate on social media.
Oh,
Don't give the guys hate. These guys, right, firstly, Zach Brown and Andrea Stella are not controlling the McLaren social accounts, okay? There's people actually employed to do that stuff. They're the guys on the other end. They're people just like the rest of us that are just doing a job. So don't hate on these guys. It's not their fault that we didn't pit. Um, Even if it was Zach Brown and Andrea Stella sat there on the McLaren socials, like reading everyone's comments, do they deserve this much hate for that? Okay, 2 weekends in a row we've messed up. Yes, fine. We're all annoyed about that. Absolutely. But look at that behind me. World champions. 10th time. Back to back world champions. And how early was that sealed? It was
Big time.
it feels like months ago that
Yep.
we claimed that.
Yep.
So this hate is not warrant. It's bang out of order. I understand the frustration and heat of the moment and stuff, but some of the things I've read are honestly pathetic. Like I feel like we're just abusing people here, but they need to be called out, mate. It's not good. Like these guys are doing everything they possibly can to get these guys to win. They don't want us to not win or look stupid in front of millions and millions of people. Of course they
That's right.
don't.
That's right. They're not developing £1 million worth of car just to favour one car over the other and let's do this and let's do that. It doesn't work like that. We know that each side of the garage, within reason, work their own side of the garage.
Yeah.
But they're saying, oh, Andrea's favouritism. Oh, look, you know, Zach went and give Oscar a cuddle but didn't care. And they're just picking up on negative stuff it's not important. It's not important. What is important is we're going into the final race. It's gone right down to the wire. It can go one of two ways. It can go brilliantly or it can go badly. And let's be honest, we know that a certain world champion has already won a world championship at Abu Dhabi by different means. And here we go again. We're going down. I shouldn't be saying things like that. It's naughty, Keith. But we're going down there. Both Oscar and Lando have got full potential. Nobody beats themselves up harder than those two do. There's no more rivalry between teammates than those two. They get on great outside the car, in the car. They're in the office.
Yeah.
Their whole job is to win.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they've been
It's
free to race all season. We keep saying it. They're free to race. There's no team orders. They're free to race. Yes, okay, a couple of times they've paid favours back, but that's racing. That's racing.
I think sometimes they haven't helped with things like Lando's extra long pit stop, and
No,
things like that. I fully understand that side of it. I get that.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
but, too much is being made of these papaya rules for me.
yeah. Much too
Papaya
much.
rules are so simple, right? Free to race, don't crash.
That was it.
They're the
Don't
two
crash each
things.
other.
That is it. You're free to race, but don't crash. That is papaya rules.
Yeah.
So everyone going, oh, papaya rules has caused this, papaya rules has caused that. No, papaya rules is two things. That is it.
I don't think I've known any other garage at this stage of a championship are still saying to their boys, go on then, go race, but don't kill each other. Don't crash, don't smash, don't get too close, but race. I don't think there's another team on the grid that's doing that.
Mm,
I
no.
might be wrong. I might be totally, totally wrong. But for a lot, we saw Yuki pull right over. Let's be honest. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh God. Yeah.
and if we're going to talk about hate for one moment, sorry, ladies and gents, we are kind of picking on the people that are picking on the people. How dare they give Kimmy
Oh.
such an amount of abuse, especially when it came from a certain doctor helmet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He pulled over. He spun that car. He spun that car.
Dr. Helmut Marko. I've never liked the fella. I've never met him, granted. But I've never. I shouldn't say I never liked him because I don't know him, but I've never liked the way he comes across. I don't
No,
like what he has to say. I
no,
think he's rude. I think he's arrogant. I think
it's
his
damaging.
opinions are completely outdated. He's a bit of a dinosaur. Um, and I don't I actually try not to listen to him.
He's made some very nasty comments about drivers that maybe have
Yeah.
cried or
Well, look
been
at Hadjar. Look
overwhelmed.
at Hadjar in Australia when he crashed out on the formation lap.
Yep,
You're an absolute disgrace. And guess what? Now Hadjar's just been promoted to the Red Bull seat. So
demoted, demoted.
demoted. Sorry, do apologise. Demoted. You're absolutely right. So Helmut Marko, just do everyone a favour and either shut your mouth or just get out of Formula One because
I
your
mean,
comments aren't welcome, mate.
poor Kimmy, thousands and death threats, evil threats. I mean, this is race. We're supposed to be here because we enjoy racing.
It's disgusting, mate. The one thing I will say, GP, um, Max's race engineer,
Yeah,
came on the radio and said something along the lines of, "It appears Kimmy's just moved out the way for Lando." Now, for me, that wasn't him actually saying. That was like a bit of a jest, I think. Like I think he said that in jest. I don't mind that guy, and I don't think there was any malice in what he was saying. I think it was just kind of like one of those passing comments. I
it was a
don't
fleeting comment. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think for a minute he actually believed. that Kimi Antonelli pulled over to let Lando through. I don't believe that. I think it was just a, you know, in jest, shall we say. So I'm not going to get on GP's back. Not that he would care if I
Antonelli
did, but
Antonelli ran wide. He was under pressure from Lando. He could see Lando in his mirrors. He knew that Lando was going to do a Lando last lap dash. He knew that.
yeah,
And I think potentially, if I may, I could be completely wrong, but I think potentially Lando had got him under pressure. Kimi was trying to drive it. It pushed him wide. He made a slip, and that was all that Lando needed. It was like, oh, thanks very much then. And up we went. But that's what driving's about. They tell people to get pressure them, put the pressure on, keep the pressure on.
100%. And let's not forget, this is Kimi's first season in Formula One. He's going to
Exactly.
make mistakes. The best in the Lewis Hamilton, one of the best that has ever done it, makes mistakes. So,
Charles had a lovely spin, didn't he, in the
yeah,
race?
he did indeed.
So
Yeah.
they all can do it, and well, we know that because let's go back to lap 10. No, not lap 10, turn 10.
Turn
They all did
10.
it. We know they
Yeah.
did. Not lap 10, turn
Yeah,
10.
they did. So yeah, this just feels. I feel like I've just been calling everyone out tonight. I'm still really raging from how we started the pod.
So
I'm
what are we going to
honestly
do?
disgusted.
What was the debrief then, Jimmy? Come on, they got out of the car. They weren't feeling the love. The team clearly weren't feeling the love. Even though there was a podium, blah de blah, but the team were not feeling the love. You could tell their shoulders had dropped. That was going to be a challenging debrief.
I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall, or would I? Maybe I wouldn't.
Because they would have all been looking at each other thinking, well, and the strategists would have been sitting there going,
Yeah.
they're the ones that would probably put their head in their hands. And Will, quite rightly, and Tom would have been looking at them and going, over to you then.
Mm,
What was that call for? I mean, that would have been an interesting debrief because they'd had to bring them back up because it would have been very negative. But by the end of that debrief, they would want their team spirit to be lifted and come back up so that we go into this weekend not dragging last weekend with us. We had to dump that off at the door and leave it there and use that positive power to come through. So that was a debrief and a half, I reckon.
well, they're going to have to do exactly that again, mate, for this weekend. I
Aren't
would
they just?
imagine. Obviously, this may come as a surprise to most people. I was not in that debrief. I didn't get invited to that one, but I would imagine people were held accountable, absolutely,
Definitely.
and
Definitely.
rightly so, right?
Yeah.
That's life. I think people should be held
If
accountable
that's
for their
your
actions.
job, if that's your job and you get paid the big bucks because that is your job, you're going to be held accountable, just
Yeah,
like we
in
would
any
be
job.
in any
Yep,
other job.
yep.
Yep.
If you mess up your job, be held accountable. Fine,
Yep.
no issue with that whatsoever.
No.
But
No.
I would imagine that by the end of it, they got down to the nitty-gritty, found out
Yep.
what happened, why these calls were made, etc.
Yep.
I would imagine that room, everyone left that room knowing that they win as a team and they lose as a team.
And
And
I think
ultimately, that is it with McLaren. That's
and
that's how I see it, at least.
yeah, and I kind of get that vibe from McLaren also that they do that. They do have a proper debrief and we go down together, but we come up together.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, we if we win or we lose, we do it as a team and we don't air our laundry in public. We do it in the closed doors. We do it. We've heard nothing about the debrief apart from
But
Andrea
rightly
saying
so.
sorry
I've got no
and
issue with
Zach
that.
saying sorry. I didn't want to
Yeah.
hear anything else.
No.
That I didn't even really want to hear a sorry, but they were accountable. They took that accountability and said, let's do this. But we have got an extra person with us on the next round, watching from the back, making sure that the sim's up to date. There is a certain Pato Award will be very close and spending some time in the sim if they need it.
Well, he's going to be driving Oscar's car on Friday, isn't he, for
He is
FP1?
driving, yes.
Now,
FP1, we got him back out again.
I wonder how hard Lando tried to allow him to drive his car for FP1 because every time Lando's given up his car in FP1, he's won the race.
See, this is what makes me happy because I'll take this one off the wall. Oh, I'll
Oh
drop I'll
God, we
drop
just
that.
dropped one.
I'll drop that. I'll take that off and I'll put that one on.
There we go.
That's my Sunday cap now. I'm ready to go.
Hopefully, it's your good luck cap.
It's got the
Uh,
signatures. Oh, it's all signed.
yeah, Pato is going to be there this weekend. Of course, last time Pato was there, Lando won the race.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. It's a good
uh,
omen, isn't it? But do you know, again though, this is that team. This is that team thing again, though, Jimmy. Because here we are. We've got an Arrow McLaren driver from our family of racing drivers. He's got his super license, and he's jumping on board for FP1 again. So we've always got that reserve driver there. But also, he can be in that sim, can't he? He's going to be
Mm,
sim driving. He's going to be driving that track and looking for tweaks here, turns there.
yeah,
So we've got such a great pedigree that we can rely on and we can pull in.
yeah, absolutely, mate. I think we've kind of said all that needs to be said on Qatar
Yeah.
last week, to be honest. Unless there's
Yeah.
anything, I mean, I've made a million notes, but they kind of all feel a bit irrelevant, to be truthful.
Yeah.
Um, the key
Yeah.
one, of course, was Lando's pit stop, so he got out ahead of
Yes.
Fernando Alonso. It was Fernando Alonso, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. He had to make sure that he came out that pit lane with and get those tyres up to temperature pretty fast to
I mean,
make sure that he kept himself in the points.
he only just got out in front of him as well. That pit stop was vital.
It was touch and go,
It
wasn't
was
it?
a 2.2 second stop
Yeah.
according to the telly. Now, of course, I know we need to check DHL, but
Yeah.
it
Check
was
the THL
it
site.
was down as a 2.2 stop, which is really, really good. But it
That's really
had
quick.
to be. It had
Really
to
quick.
be because he'd just come out in front of Fernando Alonso, who had about, I think it was about 38 cars behind him. I don't know where all these cars appeared from, but he was basically holding up the entire pack. Whether he was doing Lando a bit of a solid there, I don't know. Um,
Well, what can we say? That midfield, Jimmy, that midfield DRS chain, there was just cars everywhere.
yeah,
They all went in the pits together. They all came out the pits together and they stayed together.
yeah, they really did. Yeah, it was one of those. It was, yeah, wow.
And of
The what?
course, then, as we're getting towards the end, we have the puncher, and I'm thinking, right, will this bring out a safety car? Will they now finish behind the safety car? But of course, he managed to get it into a safe place and get it away from that. So
Yes.
at least we could finish under yellow flag, but normal racing conditions. We didn't have to finish behind a safety car because that would have been the end of the race.
Ah, yeah.
Therefore, we wouldn't have got fourth. We would have been fifth. We'd have been so much more down the points. So,
And Lando
so
would have
pleased.
had to have come second this weekend if that had happened.
Yeah.
That
So,
overtake on Kimi was so vital
it
for this
was so
weekend.
vital, so vital. And to carry on pushing as well, just in case he could catch. But one
What
more lap, perhaps. One
what
more lap, perhaps.
was a bit of a concern for me was Lando had a few laps trying to overtake Kimi, and he had DRS.
Didn't he
And on
just?
those straights, he was not getting anywhere near
No,
close enough to make
no.
them. And that was a bit concerning for me. Where's the pace? Because you should be going a bit quicker than that. Was the car just
Yeah,
set up differently because of their strategy, or I don't know.
maybe, maybe. But I also think that Kimmy's a bit of a lad and he knows how to use that battery. And I think that he was
He really
deploying
does.
that battery as well, right at the end of the straight, where Orlando might. Again, I don't know. This is my naivety as a fan, but Kimmy was clearly deploying his battery power just before the apex, so he had that little bit of a jump again.
Hmm.
But you'd have thought under the DRS we'd been able to catch, but we just didn't make it up.
No. And it is worth mentioning. We've said it for the past 3 weeks now, or 3 races, I should say. Um, Kimi Antonelli's defense is absolutely remarkable.
The guy, no, the guy is fantastic.
I think he's the one person on that grid right now you do not want to be stuck behind because he's
No,
not letting you pass.
no, he's not letting you pass. And of course, they are potentially the same engine. It's the aerodynamics are the same, but we were both driving using the same engine, but he makes that battery work and he
He
knows how
really
to get
does.
himself right where he needs to be on the track to he's not going to make it easy. No one's getting an easy
No,
pass over Kimmy, you know.
no, absolutely not.
So
Absolutely
this
not.
week in qualifying, we need to be much further forward of him.
We really do, mate.
We need a front row lockout. Let's be honest.
We do. We do.
We,
But there's, people are saying that, you actually better start in second here.
yeah,
Um,
this is one of those ones with the whole shot is actually the second place on the grid is actually
you
the preferred spot to give you that line of sight.
and you're
And
better being on the even numbers, perhaps
mm,
this weekend. Of
mm,
course, no driver can go for second because that's not how this
that's not
sport
how it works.
works. You don't leave a thousandth of a second on the table to try and get second.
But
So it
again,
will be interesting.
when you look at those times, Jimmy, you look at the qualifying, you look at Q3, yeah, and we're going, oh yeah, we got a front row lockout, yeah, by hundredths of a second,
Hmm.
not 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 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, thousandths of a second. That
It's insane.
these cars are so matched up now. We really do need 2026 to come in. It's going to shake us all up. We're going to have some very interesting podcasts,
Mm, I
because I
think
think
so.
they're going to park this car up on Sunday. I know they'll still be using it for a certain amount of testing, blah, blah, blah. But on Sunday, that's the last time we see this generation of race car on the track. So when we get the Abu Dhabi testing and when they start to come out, we are going to be seeing a brand new car that is going to have to be race ready. It's got to come out of that box and it's got to be race ready.
And
It's going to be interesting to see who is where and where going to be.
and the drivers are going to have to massively adapt as well, because I
Yeah,
would
of course.
imagine the driving style of these new machines are going to be completely different to what they've been used to.
Well, yeah, having front aero and rear aero that can be active. I mean, whew, you know,
Yeah, it's going to be
it's going to
very
be
interesting.
interesting. And of
Very
course,
interesting.
the dimensions of the car have changed, haven't they? The wheelbase has changed. So
Yeah, they're
they're now going to
smaller.
be they're now going to be realizing that they're not where they need to be. It's they've lost a couple of feet but gained a couple of the width is going to be different. There's going to be some close calls, I think, where they're going to
Mm,
misjudge the width and the length of their cars.
yeah, I think you're probably right. But before we get to that, mate, we've got one more race left.
Well, that's it. We've this is where we've come to now. We've got to talk about we're
We
here.
don't normally
It's
do race previews as such, but
but we've got to talk
we've
about it.
got to. We absolutely have to. First and foremost, if anyone's about this weekend on Sunday,
Yeah.
me and Keith are going to be in Woking watching the race.
Yep.
As it stands, we are going to the Junction Tap in Woking.
Yep.
I will put it on a social media. I did promise to do so a couple of days ago, but we've kind of had to iron a few things out and just make sure that it's all going to fall into place. So, me and Keith are going to be at the Junction Tap in Woking on Sunday for the race. If you're about, pop down.
Come and say
There's a
hello.
few other guys there. Howes is going to be there. I know Gemma's going to pop down.
Gemma's coming in. Yeah, yeah.
There's a
She's
few
my.
others.
For those of you that don't know, Gemma's the IndyCar sidekick that wifey handed me over to and made her sign for me, so that I could.
She looked after Keith on his trip to Indy. So there's going to be a few guys hopefully there, and I think just general. It's quite a big Formula One pub, I believe. I've never actually been in there, so I think it should be quite a good atmosphere in there. So
I
if
think
you're
it's
at a
going to
loose
be a good
end
one.
and you're local or you can get there, pop down.
And of course, if all goes well, Jimmy, where might we end up after the pub?
Absolutely. If all goes to plan, the papaya or the McLaren sign, should I say,
We'll go papaya.
will go papaya, and we will be there and celebrating in front of it, getting loads of photos, loads of videos, meeting loads of McLaren fans, hopefully, uh, and just having a really good time. And to be honest, just let out all that pressure and just be relieved,
And of
hopefully.
course, and yet, do you know where they're going to be really easy to spot us? Because we'll be having Papaya Pod t-shirts on, won't we?
We will indeed.
We will let everybody know who we are.
We absolutely will, yes.
Hey,
So
Jimmy, do you
please come
reckon
and
we
say hello.
do you reckon we might sign our first autograph? Nah.
If we get asked, I'll send them your way, Keith. They won't want mine, that's for sure. They definitely won't want mine. So yeah, guys, if you're about, please come down. It'd be lovely to meet McLaren fans and stuff.
Yeah, it
It's
would,
not
yeah.
really, it's not a watch party as such because it's all been very, very last minute.
Yeah, very last minute, but
Next year, I think we'll probably look to plan something a bit more organised.
yeah.
But for this one, it's yeah, just a bit of a last minute get together, really more
Well, I
than
suppose
anything.
we didn't really know if it was going to come down to this last race, Jimmy, because it's now come down to the very last race. You and I was a little bit like, should we go and watch it somewhere then? As we've kind of got to watch it, it's the last race.
I'm going to be perfectly honest, Keith. I'd rather be watching it with you in a pub, knowing that it's all done and dusted and we can actually just enjoy some good racing. Unfortunately, we're actually going to be a couple of nervous wrecks, along with plenty of other people, I'm sure.
And of course, for those of you that want, we will be having some splitters with us. There will be a certain young lady, or well, middle-aged lady. I'll be careful of that one, wearing her Ferrari stuff. But you can feel free to ignore her when she's with me.
Well, I won't. I won't ignore her. I will try and be as polite as possible. And you know what? Last year that might have been a lot more difficult, of course, fighting for
Oh,
Ferrari.
last
But
year it was touch and go last year. There was a bit of like, whoa, this is getting a bit too close. Charles, please back off.
but yeah, guys, come down. Yeah, say hello
Come
to
and
me
see
and
us.
Keith.
Come and see
And
us.
yeah, be nice. We're hoping to record a quick little pre-race episode as well. If
Yeah,
that goes to plan, I'm going to try and do one live on YouTube, but we're not really sure yet because we can't do it in the pub because there's going to be so many people there and there's lots
yeah,
of uh, privacy issues and etc., which I'm sure you understand. So we can't do
yeah.
it in the pub, but that's fine. Hopefully, if all goes to plan, we're going to get somewhere set up beforehand and do a quick episode, but I can't promise that yet.
Well, you
But
never know. You might find us sitting on the grass outside a big sign.
yeah, yeah. Well, that could work. That could definitely work. Hopefully, there will be one. But yeah, let's talk about it. Abu Dhabi. Uh,
Bring it on. Let's go.
I can't actually believe there's three drivers in this race, in this championship going down to the final race.
Not now. Where Max has just carried on doing what Max does best, and he's crept up and he's crept in there, and fourth and fifth have kind of decided they've got their place in the championship, but one, two, and three, who will it be?
So Lando needs to come in the top three. If Lando finishes in the top three, it's done, it's dusted, it's over. Nothing else can happen. It doesn't
I did
matter
a little
where
happy
Max
dance. I did a little happy dance there.
doesn't matter where Max finishes or where Oscar finishes. If Lando finishes fourth, Max has to finish second or lower. The
Yeah,
same as if he finishes fifth.
yeah,
Uh, Oscar can't win unless Lando finishes sixth,
yeah,
and then Oscar has to win the race.
yeah.
Uh, just just be on that podium, Lando.
There's
It's
so
simple,
many.
mate. It's a simple thing. Just get on the podium and it's
Do you
done.
know, I was just about to say, look, don't make me do maths. Lando, get on the podium. All right. That stops me doing my maths. It stops me having a heart attack on the track. Okay. So let's just get on the podium, buddy. You know what to do. You've got the skills. You've got the job. Come on.
You've done it enough times, mate. You know how it works.
It's not a rehearsal. Let's make it happen. Come on.
It's I am so nervous, mate. It's only Wednesday. I've been nervous since I finished watching the race Sunday evening.
That was my problem.
Um, I just people at work are talking to me about it. I'm just like I don't even want to talk about it. I can't I don't I've got nothing to say. I can't
Well,
believe it's come to this. Let's be honest, right? This championship should have been done and dusted
yeah.
by now.
If we had, if we
At
hadn't have
least
had
between the two
failures,
McLaren drivers.
if we hadn't have had disqualifications, mechanical breakdowns, it would have been done and dusted.
Yeah. Now what is interesting,
Mm.
if buts and maybes, right? But let's say go back to Spain.
Yep.
If Max didn't see red against George Russell,
Yep.
he would have nine more points than he currently
Yep.
has.
Which would have put him right where he needed to be.
Now, Max has spoken about this and said that the championship is not ever won on one race, etc. Absolutely agree with that. It's not. It's never won or lost in one race. However,
It can have a big impact.
when it's something like that is something that is entirely your fault. It's not a mechanical issue. It's not a
Nope.
strategy problem.
Nope.
This is solely, or that ish incident, sorry, was solely Max Verstappen's fault.
Yep.
I understand his frustration because I must admit, when GP come on the radio and told him to give the place back to George, I thought, what are you doing? I was with Nico Rosberg, who I can still
Yep.
hear going, no, no, no. Um, I actually didn't think Max did have to give the position back up, but obviously someone told them. They
Someone
advised him
told
to
him to,
do
didn't
so.
they?
Had he had just given that position up and finished the race, he would have nine more points. That listen, the guy's already got three championships, but four if you want to go on the records. Um, so he, it still means a lot, of course it does, but it's not as vital as if he didn't have a
Yeah.
championship under his belt, in my opinion.
He's already a world champion. They always want to be multiple world champions.
Mm,
And let's be honest, Lewis has set the benchmark. Lewis has set that benchmark. They all want to beat Lewis as well as Michael Schumacher, etc. They were the
Yeah,
benchmarks. And I suppose they want to go down as the all-time greatest. But how long are you going to be the all-time greatest? At some
yeah,
point, someone's going to knock you off that podium, and they're going
yeah.
to knock you off that, and someone else is going to take it. Is Max an all-time champion? Personally, I think he's a great driver, a great racer, but I don't have him as one of my all-time favorite drivers or champions. I really don't. It's a difficult one. There's been other people who've won one or two championships, I believe, have been fantastic at their job and did everything they were asked to do and more. So,
I
hmm.
think he's a generational great.
He's
Absolutely.
definitely, yeah, that I can't take that away. That's definitely.
But when you talk about all time, I'll be honest with you. I don't like comparing eras in sports and stuff.
It's very hard to do.
It's so different. Each era is different in all sports.
Of course, the whole cars have changed so much. It's
Exactly,
ridiculous.
exactly. But when you look down at the Formula One drivers through history,
Hmm.
if you were to pick a top, I mean, you could probably say top 10, but let's just say, for argument's sake, top five.
Mm.
I certainly don't have Max in mine, not my top five.
No, I'm
I,
afraid
I don't know if I'd have him in my top 10. Maybe towards the back
he
end of that, but
he wouldn't be. He's certain. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to. He would not be in my top five. Definitely not.
no, he
And
definitely
as
wouldn't
you
be in
said,
mine either.
top 10, he might scrape in there if I couldn't think of anybody else.
But
But
that's
I
taken
like.
nothing away from him. We've given Max
No.
a lot of respect on this podcast. He's
Yeah. No.
phenomenal,
Definitely.
absolutely phenomenal.
I suppose what it is. I suppose I like champions that have got personality as well. I suppose they're a driver. They're a fantastic driver. They're a great driver, but they got a little bit of personality, a bit of panache. They got something else to offer, not just a driver's championship. So, and maybe in his own circle, Max is a funny guy, but
Yeah.
is he as funny as my legend? Is he as good as James? Oh, I don't think so.
I think for those that weren't aware, Keith's favourite driver is James Hunt, who we all know was a bit of a he was an entertainer, let's say.
There's a bit of man love going on there, I can tell you.
Yes, there is. And mine, for anyone wondering, is Mika Hakkinen. But you already all
Well,
knew that.
I think we, but again, see, he would be in my top five.
Absolutely. I mean, he would be my number one because I just love the guy.
And I
So,
think with the rivalry that my late brother and I had, because my passion for F1 and my brother's was we went in totally different areas and totally different drivers. But you know what? I would stick Nigel Mansell in there for my brother. Nigel would be in that top 10 for my brother.
see, I love Nigel as well. I must admit, he was great. He was the first person I remember watching was
Yeah.
Nigel Mansell, along with
Yeah, I've got to put
Senna
Nigel in
and
for my
stuff.
brother. So he's got to go in there with
Yeah,
Senna as well.
absolutely, absolutely.
And of
But
course, Nicky,
Nicky Lauda, yeah,
you know.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this week, mate, this weekend, a lot's been made about papaya rules, and
Yeah.
there's something that's been spoken about quite a lot on some podcasts that I've listened to this week. Um, basically, would let's paint a picture. Max Verstappen's leading the race. Oscar Piastri is second or third, and Max is fourth.
Yeah.
Does Oscar play the team game to allow Lando to come through and at least get on the podium? A lot of these people on the podcast are saying probably Mark Webber wouldn't allow that. He wouldn't allow that to happen. Now, I'm sorry, right? But you're in a team.
I'm afraid, yeah,
I
it's a
have
letdown.
no doubt that it would really hurt Oscar in a way to do this. And
But
I
then,
understand that.
but
But
if you
I
had no
also have
chance of
no doubt.
winning, if you had no chance of winning, why wouldn't you let your teammate do it so that the team take the top spot?
And Oscar does seem genuinely like a lovely fella. He does. They both do. Him and Lando
Yeah.
both come across that way. I have no doubt in my mind that if that was the position they find themselves in towards the end of the race, I don't think they would even need to ask Oscar. I'll be honest. I think Oscar just does it. I genuinely do.
Take their managers out of the equation. Mark Webber would definitely not let him. Mark Webber's already got things in contracts that we know. We don't know that in stone, but we've certainly seen things written about that, what Webber has said. But I think there will be discussions around that. And I do think that Zach and Andrea and the team and the two race engineers will have sat down. And I think they will have covered that. And they'll be saying, look, Oscar, if you're out of the actual championship, but by giving one place to Lando, we can take the world championship away from Red Bull. We can put it with. I think that kind of contingency plan is, I hope, has been put into place already. I hope that's been loosely spoken about, so it's there if needed, and
I,
potentially even the other way around if it had to be.
I can guarantee you it's been spoken about.
It's got to have been, hasn't it? You've got
Yeah.
to.
It's
Someone's
the
got to talk
elephant in
about
the
the elephant
room.
in the room, haven't they?
Yeah.
You've got to talk about it, haven't you?
Genuinely, I have no doubt that Oscar would do it, and he will look at the bigger picture. Yeah, Mark Webber might not be happy about it, but Mark Webber should look at the. And by the way, I haven't actually heard Mark Webber say no, he's not doing that. We're all just speculating, unless I've missed something.
I think we've
Um,
read it, but we don't know he's actually said it. That's the problem.
yeah. So for me, if Oscar was to do something like that, imagine the respect.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, the McLaren. I'm not talking about just the fans. I'm talking about the team.
oh,
Their respect for both drivers, I'm sure, is at the absolute top. But if
yeah,
he does something like that, that is going to excel him next season to go, do you know what? We remember what you did.
yeah,
This is my opinion, right? That
yeah.
won't ever
No,
be
I'm with
forgotten.
you.
But I also think in Lando's head, Lando will be like, do you know what? I've got my championship. Let's go and get yours. I
And do you
could
know
be
what?
wrong, but that's how
No,
I
see,
play it out
I
in my head.
see in Keith world, in Keith world, where everything's rosy and pretty, that's exactly the way I would see it. He'd say, right, I
Mm,
got it last year. This year, I'm not. Maybe next year, maybe I'm not quite in the running, but I'm going to make sure that you are on
yeah,
that last race, or when you can, if you can nail it, I'll make sure that I am with you to help you to nail it. Because
yeah,
let's be honest, wouldn't we love it, right? We've won the world championship twice on the bounce now. We've got that. Taking the drivers' championship would be phenomenal to give
mm,
us that trio of fantastic results. Next year is unwritten. We don't even know what the car is going to be like.
no,
Can we have we got potential to go back to being the tractor in the room like we were for a good few seasons? Yeah, we have.
yeah,
Have we also got the potential because of the techniques that we've learned and the designing that we've been doing, the engineers? Have we got the potential to come out of that box and be the fastest thing on four wheels? Yes, we
mhm,
really have. We don't know what's going to. So I think as a team they should put this one to bed this year. Let's wrap it up. Let's make sure that we take the drivers' championship, boys. We need the driving championship, boys. And then next year is a whole new year to sort out where we're going and what we're doing. But that's in
abs
Keith Happy land, you see.
No. Do you know what, mate? I'm gonna say it that I've made it clear. I'm not hidden away from it. I want Lando to win this year. If Oscar wins, I'll be happy. If Lando wins, I'm gonna be ecstatic.
If Oscar wins, I will shout and I will jump up and down and I will clap immensely. If
Absolutely.
Lando wins, you will not be out here in the room because I'll be making so much noise, it'd be unbelievable.
So that's where we're at. Absolutely. We've never shied away from that, and
No, we haven't.
we
No.
both think that's perfectly fine. We're not
Yep.
hating on one driver.
No.
What That's not fine. So then you like one but hate on another. That's not fine.
No.
That said, if we're not getting carried away here, we know what can happen in this sport. If Lando wins the Drivers' Championship next Sunday, straight away next year, I want Oscar to win it.
Boom.
No question.
You can't
Lando,
get fairer
you
than
got
that, buddy.
yours. I want you to go and get one now, Oscar. Simple as that. And if those two are in the running in Abu Dhabi this time next year, and it's down to those two, and listen, I'm not getting carried away. Like Keith just said, it's a blank canvas next year. We don't know where we're going to be.
No.
If it's down to those two this time next year, I am supporting Oscar. Oscar, you go and get yours, mate.
Do
That's
you know
how I'm at with it.
such a lovely way to do it as well, because what that means is that we've got championship drivers in our car.
Mm,
Both drivers have won a world championship in our car, and they've both
yeah.
got a multi-deal contract, multi-year contract, sorry.
Yeah, wouldn't it be amazing? And then anything after that, papaya rules.
Just let it happen.
Race, but don't crash.
Yeah. We need a
Yeah,
t-shirt, don't we?
we
We
do.
raced and we didn't crash.
Yeah. Papaya rules. Um, yeah, I mean that's it. That's pretty much all there is to say, I think, on the matter for this weekend.
Yeah,
I am a nervous wreck. I know you are as well, Keith. I
I
think
am. Totally am.
those nerves are only going to get worse as Sunday creeps up on us. I'm certainly not going to have any fingernails left by the end of Sunday.
I want Sunday, but I don't want Sunday. I want a race, but I don't want a race.
Yeah, it is very much like that, isn't it? Mixed emotions on the whole thing. I got friends at work that are just sort of just getting into Formula One or been sort of casual Formula One fans or whatever. They've not really got a team to follow. They're just enjoying this for what it is. And they've all sort of said, "Oh, this is great. You know, it's great for next weekend." I'm like, "Yeah, it might be for you lot, but it's
Not
not
for
for
us.
McLaren fans. Trust me."
If you're not a McLaren fan, yeah. Oof, for us, like it's like nerve-wracking. It's like I need to take, Prozac or some of those lovely tablets to
Yeah,
help me through.
absolutely,
But you know what?
absolutely.
On the back of that, Jimmy, let's just can we just finish off as we started? Papaya fans, if you love this team and you love what we do, let's support Alaya. Let's get her fundraising through the roof for the final race. I'd love for us to be coming on, Jimmy, and knowing we'll get Lindsay to text us how many people have bought bracelets so that we know it's been a full papaya weekend. And the winner, regardless if he wins the world championship, the winner in this is a liar because her sales have gone up, her fundraising's gone up, and she's got a whole lot of papaya love behind her.
Yeah, absolutely. I second that, mate. And put me down for one of those bracelets. I'm definitely going to get my order in.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
have a second one because I won't wear mine because it's still here. Look, it's hanging up. I love it so much that it's there.
you need one to wear now.
I've waited
Um,
so long.
yeah, let's do that because then at least some good can come from these idiotic comments that
Yes,
they've
it can.
had to deal with.
Absolutely. And
Um,
we can be her champions, can't we? We can champion this young lady and we can say, come on, guys, if you're following us, you like the podcast. We'll see if we can't find a link to put in it. I'll talk to Lindsay and see if we can't get a link to buy it
Absolutely.
up.
100%. Yeah,
I know
we
she's
will
got
get that.
they're on an eBay store. You can go to eBay and buy them, and all the proceeds go straight to the charity. They're doing it for the love of the sport and for Lando's foot dune because he needs to be doing
Foot
that this
Dune.
weekend.
Foot Dune,
Um,
Landau.
and let's make her the champion, regardless of what the outcome is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. And with a lot less aggression that time. Sorry I was a bit heated on this one, guys, but
No, I was like it. Yes, I was stomping yesterday.
Keith
Well,
sprung that
I
on
would have
me.
stomped if I was out of the wheelchair, but I was slamming. I was not happy.
Keith literally sprung it on me just as we were about to press record.
I did,
So
yeah. I'm sorry about that, but I did, yeah.
I was rather emotional. But you know what? I don't regret a word of it because it is bang out of order and it is disgusting and people
And she's
do
a
need
special
to
young lady.
have a long hard look at themselves. And as Keith rightly just said, she is a very, very special young lady who is doing some incredible things and she is very inspiring.
Yeah.
So you keep doing what you're doing, Elia. You're amazing. We love you, and yeah, just keep it up, and hopefully you can celebrate a papaya win this weekend, a Lando Norris Championship. Wow,
Because he had
that
his
was
foot dune.
because he had his foot down. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, like I said, hopefully we'll be back for a little special episode, pre-race Sunday,
Hmm.
and then of course we will be back to review Sunday's race next week. Hopefully, it's a championship, another championship going to the MTC, but time will tell. Go and do all the usual stuff, please, guys. Like, follow, subscribe, and all that.
Hit
Don't
the
usually
buttons.
ask for that, but it is quite important that we get those numbers up a little bit. Not for us, just to get us out there and spread the McLaren love, because
Yeah.
there's plenty of it out there, and we need to get the love louder than the hate because the hate seems to be taking over a lot, and it's not good.
No.
But yeah, I'm waffling a bit now. But guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been the Papaya Pod Race Review with Jimmy and Keith. Uh, bring
Do you
on
know?
Abu
Let
Dhabi on Sunday.
and never stop racing, regardless of what we feel. We'd never stop racing.
Until next time, never stop racing.
See you soon, guys.